one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty,
liberty, justice, and all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman D'Amato.
Here.
Della Ripa.
Here,
Graziano.
Here.
Here's
Hudson.
Oh, did you call me? I'm sorry. Yes.
Hudson. Julian.
Here.
Yazdi.
Here.
Ray joined at 7:02.
Okay.
Okay, and we also have our municipal clerk, Brianna Calabro, our business administrator, Michael Sondermeyer, and our borough attorney, Dawn Sullivan. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, an emergency remote meeting protocol for the local public bodies, adequate electronic notice of this remote meeting have been provided by sending a notice to the Herald News and the Star Ledger, posting notice on the borough website, posting notice on the outside front door and bulletin board of Borough Hall at 101 Hamburg Turnpike, Bloomingdale, New Jersey, and sending notice to those individuals requesting the same. Members of the public will be kept on mute during the meeting, while muted participants will be able to hear business being conducted. If you would like to speak during the designated public comment portion, you can press 9 on your phone or raise your hand icon on the Zoom app and wait to be recognized by the host, who will unmute you to speak. When you are done commenting, you will be put on mute again. There's a 5-minute limit on all public comments. We do have 2 non-agenda items tonight, which we will put on in the end. We have a resignation and an appointment, so we'll add them down at the bottom of the regular business. Can I have a motion to open up early public comment, please, to reserve for agenda items only?
So moved.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, anybody wanted to speak, please raise your hand or hit 9.
I don't
Nobody
see any
raised?
hands.
Okay, a motion to close early public comment.
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any report of committees? Anybody from council person have anything to bring to the meeting?
I have.
John, I have. Oh,
Sorry,
go
you go
John.
ahead, please. No, Drew, you go ahead. You got it.
All right. I have 2 reports, and I want to share this with everybody because it's just good news, and the weight of everything we've all been dealing with. I walked out of both meetings feeling really good. So first and foremost, REC met last Monday, and we talked about some of the plans that they have for the spring and the summer, and the activities. For example, a painting in the park program, a youth 2-on-2 basketball tournament, an adult choir, and there's a few others, but it just made me feel good that there's some end at the end of this tunnel. And then lastly, they did their first ski program. We partnered with Camp Gall Mountain, and the program was run by Matt Zaccone, and the feedback was great. I think they had just over a dozen participants, skiing and boarding. No issues whatsoever. A couple of bumps and bruises along the way. But again, just to offer a program like that for the kids after everything they've been through, they're going through, it was a breath of fresh air. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. And then secondly, Triborough, we have our virtual board meeting on Thursday, and we don't know if opening day is going to look like years past. We're going to plan for it, and we're pretty good at pulling that off. But if that's not the option, there will be a plan B. It unfortunately will look a little bit different than years past. And, we may do a closing ceremony that would sort of reflect an opening ceremony. So kind of sit tight there. I know there's been a lot of questions on what opening day is going to look like for the boys and girls. And it'll be addressed this week, and I'll report back to you at our next council meeting. So that's all I have.
Very good. That's really good news on both ends. John?
Yeah.
Yeah, so on the EDC front, we have a ribbon cutting ceremony coming up this Sunday, the 21st. It's at 12 p.m. It's for Computers Inc., which was an existing business in the same location on Main Street. But it was recently bought out, if you will, or just a new ownership. So the policy of the EDC is to still offer ribbon cutting in those situations, since it is a new owner and we want to extend good faith and get them some publicity. So I know that there are some folks here on the council who said that they'll be there. So that's great. Just a reminder for you all. And then for anybody else, it's usually a pretty fun event, pretty quick. But again, 12 p.m. on Sunday. The second item, this has to do with the New Jersey Futures and the grant that we received. So I know that I think maybe as of today, they actually went live with a survey, which was part of the program that was offered. Just want to make everybody aware of that. There will be marketing going up, signs and banners and things like that. So we'll be really well known to the town. But I just wanted to make sure we got the word out there to take the survey. It takes 10, 15 minutes of your time, but it's important because it helps to say what we want to see downtown and to help really craft a good strategy for how we want to handle things downtown. The website is www.downtownsurvey.net. I don't know exactly because I haven't tried it yet where that takes you to, but there'll be more information to come. Right now, I just wanted to make everybody aware.
Actually, on that note, they I got a email from the lady Tanya who's running that program. She had some things that she thought we might be able to put on our webpage. So Dawn, maybe I'll forward them on to you or to Bree. I'm not sure who updates our webpage or social media
It can be
to get people out there, or
Bree or
Rich.
myself.
Okay,
But I mean, if we want to put on Facebook, maybe Dawn wants, I
Sure.
don't know
it
if
might
it's
be
appropriate.
both. It might
Yeah.
be both.
Just CC both of us and we'll figure it out.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. From my end, Mike, myself, and John, we went down to visit the new business on the corner of Reeves and Main Street, which used to be the Lawrence Transmission. We met the owner. They are putting a lot of money and time into that building, restoring the inside. From the work that we're seeing down there, it's going to be really nice. They have all plans of redoing the outside of the building, both the Reeves Ave side and the Main Street side. There's been some concern regarding car sales. That is not their business there. They restore Corvettes, Mercedes, they have a Jaguar. They are putting a showroom inside to show the cars that they are restoring. But for the car gurus, when you're going to walk down Main Street and you're going to look through, they put all new windows in the front, and you're going to see these cars that have been taken from whatever to be made really nice show cars. So that's what we're going to see down there. It's not going to be anywhere near what we see on the upper end or the middle section of Hamburg Turnpike, thank God. But it's a young brothers. We met the one owner, very nice people. They urge you, if you feel like stopping by in and saying hello and seeing what they're doing, their door is open. They were really nice guy. And from what it sounds, they're going to take a building that doesn't look really well and make it nice. So when you drive by it, it'll be something to look at. So if there's any concerns, you hear it. I know their website said sales. They have no plans of selling cars out of that building like a used car lot. It's not going to look like that. These are going to be top end cars. And you'll see them in the back stored. There is some Mercedes-Benz back there already. Not a lot, but they're working on restoring that building to make it something presentable for our Main Street. So I think that's a really good thing. Another business that'll be in town. Couple other things going on. Mike and I also visited the DPW and our salt shed. There is some issues going on with that, just so you're aware. If you hear any conversation about that, we are looking into that. There's some cracks in the concrete that is being looked at by our engineer. So we're gonna have to come up with a plan to fix that. So that's more information coming. That's pretty much all I have. Bree, you have anything?
Nothing to report. John Graziano, you still have the stuff for the ribbon cutting, right? I don't think I got that back. You have that, you're good.
I
Okay.
do. I think I'll give it back to you guys after this one. I
Okay.
forgot that I would need the certificate anyway, so I'd have to stop downtown.
You
So,
still need the certificate, right?
right.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
And
Well,
John,
I-
I'm sorry, where's the ribbon cutting on Sunday?
Yeah, so it's, I don't have the exact address, but if you know where Home Sweet Homes is, that just opened up, it's right there. So
Okay.
Discount Liquor, or not, what's it called? Wine Traders Club. If you're looking at Wine Traders Club, it's like two buildings.
Across
to
from the pharmacy, across from Hometown Pharmacy.
Got it. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Dawn Sullivan? You have anything for us?
I have no report.
Okay. All
Mr.
right,
Mayor, I got a couple, just a couple of things I'll run through.
Oh, go ahead,
if you
Mike.
don't mind.
Sorry.
I got a call from the Butler High School yearbook, or I should say Terry did. They wanted to know if we're gonna put a picture in this year. I don't know if we'll be able to get together and take a picture or a photo. So I don't know if we want to just bypass that this year as a mayor and council. And we already supported, we're doing a half-page congratulations type thing, but typically we put a photograph of the mayor and council, and I don't know if we can do that or not in COVID.
Make a suggestion?
Sure.
We all wear a mask.
Why don't we just do individual pictures and then we can make a collage of it for this year? And then I can help you with the ad if you want. I think, if I remember right, that I made the ad last year, maybe?
I think we
believe so.
utilized the same ad this year. We just didn't have a photo, but we can do what you're saying, collage.
Sure.
You
I
know,
mean, we need updated pictures. We don't have anything of John Graziano yet. And I think it would be nice that we do a standard picture of all of us so that there's some, a nice cohesive look.
I agree. And we also have to update our welcome pack. So this will be an opportunity to get photos for that. Use the same ones, I would think. Correct, Dawn?
So
When do they need it by, Mike?
they didn't say, but typically it's in the middle of March or so we get it back to them. So if we can set something up and meet in the council chambers and take headshots of people.
Sure.
I'll work with you, Dawn, and I'll get something out to the rest of the mayor and council of when we can get there.
You bet.
Okay.
The other thing I had, the fire chief came in today. He had a couple of maybe 4 physicals that were not completed, and the rain delay or rain dates were covered by snow, so they couldn't get him in there. So he asked if we can extend it by a month, which I said, all right. And the mayor was with me when we said that. So he has 4 people that are going to try and get done before the middle of March. So they're on schedule for their physicals for the fire department.
Yeah, the way that works, we voted to make sure everybody gets a yearly physical. And last year they did it in January. They had to have them completed by this February 28th. I think the date was he gave us, Mike. But with the weather,
Yes.
the way it's been, we're just going to extend it so we do not hurt our volunteers in responding. So we extended it basically to the dates that Eric gave us. I didn't think there'd be an issue with that, so we can make sure that they get their physicals, which is the main thing.
Yep.
Okay. Anything
And the
else, Mike?
last thing, the chief also told us they have a demo of a ladder truck coming on Friday at 11, as long as the weather's not bad. Rain day will be the 23rd at 11 a.m. That'll be at the municipal building. Just gonna take a look at a potential of a fire truck down the road, a ladder truck down the road. So if anybody's around and wants to take a look, feel free to stop by.
Just for Drew and John benefit, I think, actually for everybody. A ladder truck, I believe, has a lifespan of 25 years. A pumper has an engine, I'll call it, has a lifespan of 20 years. So the ladder truck, I think it has 4 or 5 years left, but they are trying to get a plan together to see what the needs are going to be. So this is just a research thing. It's coming from a company called E1 that we used to have an E1 at one time. So this is just to look and see and start planning of whatever direction we decide to go in. So we'll know our 5-year plan. If we decide to go in that direction, we can start planning for the replacement of a truck.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Is that the only piece of equipment that's almost at end of life? Or
Yes.
are there others?
Yes, the next one which would be our squad, which if you're at Borough Halls, the truck that sits in the middle, that's basically our rescue truck.
Okay,
It's got a combination of everything on it. That would be the next one, but that has quite a few years left. And then there's 2 pumpers after that were bought in, I think, if I remember correctly, 09 and 10, somewhere around there. So we have quite a ways to go before that. The ladder truck has been here a while.
okay.
Okay. right, anybody else before we move on? No? Okay. Okay, consent agenda, resolution number 2021 2.9 to accept the consent agenda. I guess it's 2.9 to 2.12. Have a motion on the floor to accept the consent agenda.
So moved.
Seconded?
Okay, before we do roll call, just want to thank those volunteers that are on that list that are stepping down, and also our volunteers that are stepping up to go on committees. We always like to thank our residents for participating. Linda Bennett, that's on there. She's dropping down from the Drug Alliance, which is a huge task. She's been running it since, I believe, the passing of Cindy Hopper. She's done an excellent job, but she's involved in so much stuff. She's going to step down from here. Mike is in the process of trying to find a replacement. It's a huge job, working with the Drug Alliance. So we'd like to do a special thank you to Linda Bennett on that. So with saying that, Bree, can I have a roll call, please?
D'Amato,
Yes.
Delariva,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Yazdi,
Yes.
Very good. Okay, pending items. We have two resolutions here, and resolution number 2021 2.13 is fair housing. I believe we do this every year. This is basically just saying we won't discriminate against anybody. It's just a New Jersey law that we just abide by. So we do a resolution each year just to make sure that we're on page and we will follow the standards of the Fair Housing Act. Breach, we should do these separately, right?
no, you can move them together.
Move them together. Okay,
Just
let's,
need to- just to say what the project is that we're applying for.
yes. Resolution 2021 2.14, the CDBG grant that we talked about at our last meeting, and I brought up the sidewalk project on Hamburg Turnpike, and there was some conversation about safety and all those issues. So what I did is I went to Chief Burrell to get his opinion on the safety end of it, to put sidewalk there. So he said, overall, the county will have final decision. So he made some phone calls down to the county on a safety aspect of doing that. They would support if we wanted to put sidewalks there. I personally went up there and I walked the upper end, if you went over DeLazier and a crossing at the Donald School. Crossing over there, there is a blind spot coming up to Glenwild, and the way cars come down Glenwild, make that right-hand turn. It's a little shaky, but it's there. So I went down a little further down to where I want to do the crossing down there. It's a wider area of street, but I think the blind side coming up from Hamburg, from Main Street, cars come around that corner fairly quick. So then I was a little hesitant. So also speaking with our engineer, we have two homes in that section of the sidewalk that would be part of I call it, I guess, a problem. The one is the house across from the used car lot. It has two white pillars there. We would have to take part of their property to put the sidewalks in, and then down the street on the other side of the old bar across from Ed's Auto, there's another home there that has a concrete wall. The county will not allow us to infringe on that white line on both sides, so we have to take a good chunk of their property and rebuild the wall. So the end result is, it's not at this time, I don't think we should go in that direction, because not only we would be taking property, but I think the cost would outweigh the benefit, since we do have a top sidewalk to walk over from DeLazier Place on Glenwild and come down. So with saying that, we looked into another section of town, which is Wallace Street, which touches the section that we're allowed to work with on Main Street. So we contacted the county, and we wanted to put sidewalks down Wallace to DeLazier, because they're big on ADA ramps and all that stuff going down towards DeLazier. And they also said it would probably not be approved that section because quite a bit of it is out of the area we're allowed to do these type of this grant. Okay, so now option 3. Mike and I met our engineer, and now the people that authorize this grant are very big with senior citizens and things of that nature. So we went behind by the senior center by the garden. And back there we have a flag burning area, which is very nice, which was built by Anthony Catalano. And it's really nice. One side of the wall, we have a little bit of damage for whatever reason. It undermined from water. We're going to repair that. So our thought process was we own a lot of that property that goes all the way behind First Street. And it would be really great to have almost a small senior park with a gazebo, with picnic tables. So if the seniors are in the building, they can come outside. They'd be able to social distance underneath this pavilion, you call it. I call it a gazebo, but it'll be a little bit bigger. And we could also do a sidewalk from the senior center behind the garden to the gazebo area and have lights and stuff. So if they want to have lunch out there, if they can't use inside the building because of what we're going through, they'd be able to go outside to social distance. We just thought it'd be something really nice for the seniors. And within the dollar amount that the grant we would apply for, we'd probably do the whole project and not cost us, have to add any additional monies other than engineering fees, which no matter what we do, you have to take care of that. So I want to research that a little further. I'd like to get the authorization from you guys tonight so we can proceed and get this grant application in and see where it goes. Because every other area in that zone, we've pretty much done everything we can with that type of grant between water and sidewalks and other things that we've done with that grant. So any comments? Or
Where would it go again?
the pavilion would be directly behind the fire pit for the flag burn. That's the area there. And the reason being would have to stay in that area is we can't go further down towards First Street because it turns into wetlands and it's actually in the floodplain. So they won't approve that. So we'd have to go a maximum of there. We can shorten it up. I don't want to mess with the garden as it is because it's beautiful. And Sonny Brennan's done a great job there. So I don't want to move it closer. But it would be behind the flag burner thing, which is a nice wall. It would fall into that. We would design it to match it kind of. And I just think it would give our seniors another place to meet and maybe hold picnics or whatever they want to do.
Good spot.
Okay. Anybody else? Any comments?
Yeah,
No,
sounds good, John.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take a ride back there and I could picture the garden and some of the tables, but if that's the logical option, I mean, is there a fourth option, right? So no, I guess.
Drew, I've been up and down that area, and I've tried to come up with it. I try to be creative. But if you don't do water lines, and the thing is, if we do any more water lines, we're gonna have to put in $200,000. And that's not really the goal of this. We'll get the 65 to 85 from here, then have to add a lot of money to it. And we've already, I think it'll be done this year. We're putting 2 water main valves on Hamburg Turnpike, and I think it's Leary, that we've already received money from last year's grant for that. So that's been approved. We applied for the bathrooms at, this is open space at the Leisure. So that's the project that probably will be approved. We got some good word about that so far. It's not final yet. But we've done a lot with this type of grant, but we're running out of space to do anything else. So I think this is our only option at this point. And I think it's really nice to do something nice for the seniors, and it'll make the garden bigger. And then, we'll come up with whatever else we want to do with it over there for our seniors.
John, the sidewalk idea, the other side won't work, right? Linda mentioned something that they had a grant, and I'm sure
That was
they
a
must have
DOT
drawn
grant.
it up, right?
That was a DOT grant
Yeah,
we talked
but at
about.
the
I
end of the
believe.
day, they must have
ahead.
drawn it up somehow, right?
I don't know that for a fact. We weren't part of it back then. I don't know where that exactly was designated for. But the biggest issue that we found down there is we'd have to take property. Now, I don't know when Linda had hers, was it the other side by the used car lot. That would be a nightmare, especially when we got down to the old toy store. I call it the old firehouse because that's what it was in Borough Hall, where that guardrail is across from Glenwell. It drops off quite a bit, so I think the expense will be astronomical to do that. And we have to cross the river at least once on the corner of Delazier. So you know how that means DEP is involved, and we've been through that route before. So I just don't think there's an option right now, unless we want to really commit a lot of money to doing it. And I just don't think that's really an option at this point.
Can we take Linda off mute just to hear if there was a drawing or not for a second?
Hi there. Linda Huntley, 86 Van Dam.
Thank you.
I had originally wanted to do it across the street, and the only reason why we didn't do it across the street was because someone on the council had spoken to the business owners and they were concerned about it. The engineer said there was no problem going across the street. So I don't know, I mean, if you want to look at that, I don't know if there's a reason why we feel that we have to have a problem with DEP, because there's already concrete and whatever there, a road already there. So you could probably still do that.
The area where it crosses over there, and the creek, I'll call it a creek, that comes across from Fisher Street underneath Hamburg Turnpike, would have to be reinforced. You would probably have to add drainage pipes to make sure it was secure. And the drop off over there, and it can be done. Don't get me wrong. I think it can be done. I think the approvals will probably come through. DEP doesn't work that fast, as we found out with Sloan. But the other end of it is when you get up by the McFarland Toys that used to be there, that section behind that guardrail, you'd have to go a sidewalk into their parking lot. And then from that point to the sidewalk that goes down to Hamburg Turnpike, where it starts sidewalk again, we would take quite a bit of their property and put the sidewalk behind the guardrail.
Right.
I know that building right now is, I believe, empty, but whoever takes that, they would lose the front parking. That's just my opinion, because I've walked it. So I just don't think the option at this point is there. We can research it further and as we go and see if we want to do another project there, but we're on a timeline for this application. And I just think,
maybe
go ahead, Linda.
Another year or something, but I think it's something you may want to consider, because that is an area that's not very safe. I mean, it's really a safety issue on that area.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
I think there
Yeah,
are
thanks,
engineers,
Linda.
because that's what we do originally.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
I guess-
disagree with you at all, because that was the first site I looked at. I thought that would be great. Come right down across from Bob's Barbershop and go right, you cross over on that side of the sidewalk, come across and walk right down. You're in the middle of town without crossing Glenwell. But I just thought the obstacles that we'd have to get around would be not undoable, but costly right at this point.
Yeah, Linda, do you remember how much your project was at the time?
Well, we
Yeah.
had, I guess, $390,000 to work with.
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
You don't
We'd-
I
have,
remember that. I remember
Yeah,
that.
okay, so we'd probably have to like split it up into multiple years or something to accomplish the same thing.
So,
If you're only talking about like $80,000.
but that's all they give you. And then when we do this,
Right.
we always have to add the rest, and then we have to pay the engineering fees, and we wind up, so that's just, I think, to get this grant in on time, we can do something nice for our seniors. It might not be approved. I think it will be. Tom thinks it will be. But we're on a timeline here. So,
No, I agree. John, I love your idea. I mean, let's move forward with that one for this year. But, throughout the course of the year, we can look into,
we can start looking at the other side and see
possible.
what it's gonna
Yeah.
take to do that.
Yep.
Okay,
maybe next year we go for that. Yep.
Well, is that
Thank
DOT
you, Linda.
grant still a viable option? I mean, can we pivot and go for that grant?
we'd have to apply for that. And I'd have to, I have to talk to Tom and see what that would take, and I will do that, and I'll let you know.
Because I mean, they're two good ideas. As I'm listening to us talk this through, and it seems like the grant that we're going to talk about or vote on now doesn't fit the sidewalk project. It fits the senior center project based on the dollar amount, right?
Yeah, yes, they're big into sidewalk because they like to say at the end of it, they like the ADA. If we were doing a bunch of ADA ramps in town, they would probably fund that, but we've done a ton of them. We always incorporate that in any sidewalk project that we're doing, as we're doing on Hamilton. When you get to the corners, they will be ADA. I think some of them already are, because you have to do that. If it's DOT, you have to comply. But right now, I just think this is to be a small project, but a good project. Providing it's approved. Not only by us, by them. So. Okay. Can I have a motion to accept 2021 2.13 and 2.14?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Bree, roll call?
Delariva,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Yazdi,
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Introduction of new business. Resolution 2021 2.15, payment of the bills. Have a motion on the floor.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll do a
We'll do a roll
Roll
call for this
call.
money. Yes, please.
John, one quick question, if I may.
Sure.
Yeah, it's page, I made a note here, page 14, Geese Police vendor 04741.
Yep.
Looks like we were billed, it just maybe the way the contract is structured. But we were billed 1,700 in February. With a foot of snow on the ground, what are they doing?
Mike, can you answer that? You look like you were going to.
Yeah, obviously we didn't run any dogs. I had to check the contract. I know it's a certain amount. It's not for the entire year. It runs from 1 month to another to like October by that. I
Okay,
just got to find out when that is. And
I
I
think it
know
starts
we
to- If I
reinstate it
remember
every year.
correctly, it starts in March.
You could just check with finance. They'll tell you.
That's what I
Yeah.
do. Yep. I'll
okay,
get back
that's
to you,
fine.
Drew.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, roll call.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes,
Yazdi,
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes, except for vendor 01463.
301,463. Delariva,
Yes.
Okay. Okay, item B, resolution 2021 2.16, tax appeal settlements. Have a motion on the floor to accept that.
So moved.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
yes,
Yazdi,
Yes.
D'Amato,
Yes.
Delariva,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Okay. Adoption of resolution number 2021 2.17, transfer of appropriations. That is still part of the 2020 budget. We're just trying to close everything out and we're moving money to pay. Mike, do you,
Yeah, it was $5,000 for the Triborough Little League generator and
Triboro's
$1,000
first
back
aid,
to the
first aid,
first
right?
aid. I'm sorry, yeah,
First
trying not, yeah, sorry, first aid.
we have a generator.
Nice.
It's for opening day, Drew.
Yeah. And then the police, we had to give $1,000 back. They had some equipment that went over. You remember last time we took some money from the PBA police and moved it into the other accounts. Well, we pillaged a little bit too much, so we had to go back and give them $1,000 back. So we took money out of the street and roads and group insurance for both of those.
And that's, as for the generator, we shared the cost with Butler and I believe Kennelon to purchase a generator for Triborough First Aid.
Yep.
So they can stay up and running. Have a motion on the floor to accept that.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Julian, Yazdi,
Yes.
D'Amato,
Yes.
Delaripa,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Okay. Our two non-agenda items.
just late public. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we'll do this first and then go. Okay.
I'm getting excited. Sorry.
All right. Resolution 2021 2.18, accepting the resignation of Robert Bono, who holds our CPWM license, and he's our field consultant. He is stepping down. I have a motion on the floor to accept his resignation with thanks.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Okay. I think we should do a roll call on this, Bree.
Yazdi,
Yes.
D'Amato,
Yes.
Delaripa,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Okay, now, resolution 2021 2.19, appointing Daniel O'Rourke, who will now hold our license for the CPWM. That is a cost of $2,000 for the year, which is a difference from where we were before. So have a motion on the floor to accept the appointment of Dan.
So
Second?
Okay, roll call.
D'Amato,
Yes.
Delaripa,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Yazdi,
yes.
Okay. We had two matters in executive session, one which has been resolved. We have one matter of negotiations, and there'll be, once we come out of executive, there'll be.
John?
John,
Yes.
late public?
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
yes, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Linda. Can a motion to open up late public comment, please?
So moved?
Second.
Second. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anybody wanted to speak to late public comment?
Linda Huntley, 86 Stand. I wanted to ask you, is there going to be action taken after the executive session?
Say that again, I didn't hear you.
Is there going to be action taken after the executive session?
No, there's not. We had one matter that was going to, but that was resolved before we started our meeting tonight, so there's no action being taken afterwards, none.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else, Bree?
No, John.
Okay. Motion to close late public?
So moved.
Second?
Cool. Is that
You?
every 2-week mark?
Hey, that's my,
Not mine this time.
it's mine.
Okay. I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, since there's nothing being done after executive session, our next schedule will be a workshop, March 2nd, 2021, 7 PM. We'll still be in Zoom, and then March 16th, 2021 at 7 PM. Okay. So